All right, so I'm here with Jerry Overmeyer, creator of the Flip Network.
The Flipped Learning Network,
The f-
NAIN, is the official name.
All
Because
right.
NAIN's that free service that provides um, a social network site. And so we're almost at 10,000 members.
Wow.
So
What or when did you first discover flipped learning?
it was in 2009. I was just kind of doing an internet search for ed tech type stuff. And I don't remember how I came across John Bergman and Aaron Sams in Woodland Park doing this, but it just really stuck to me as like something that is only going to grow because technology is going to get better, and as technology gets better, it's going to become easier and easier. And I just thought it was a great idea.
Like what convinced you then to cross over with your curriculum into the flip model?
I think it's just the fact that students can go, they can hit pause, hit rewind as they're learning, and so for like um, college algebra, where I'm using it right now, it's a difficult topic where just because you lecture on it and someone take notes, you have no way of knowing whether they understood it or not. So for me, having that permanent archive of the lectures up that they can watch over and over seemed like a good idea. And then to use class time to really sit down with students and, I put them in small groups and to be able to float around and get an idea of where they're at, and I can go, oh, we need to review that, or sweet, that's working well, or that type of thing. It just seems to work better, I think.
Awesome. Um, Initially, when you were getting going on this, what were some of your initial challenges?
The initial challenges are, I think it's probably at a college level, it's similar to a regular lecture homework course. There's a certain amount of students who think that they can, like, oh, well, the test isn't for 3 weeks, so I'll pull an all nighter, so they keep putting it off, type of a thing. And then they try to, cram 24 videos in the night before a test. And I could tell students were doing that. So I've gotten a little more strict about what I do now is after each video, I have like 3 or 4 online homework problems that they have to complete. And those have a set deadline. So I think that's helped keep them on task as far as watching the videos. And then also in class, whether I grade it or not, I've been collecting worksheets at the end of every class to make sure that they're in class and doing their work.
Do you ever find students not watching the videos and just using their textbook instead?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Are
Absolutely.
you okay with that, or?
Uh, yeah, I guess I'm okay with that if it's something that they feel they can get away with. Um, One of the challenges this semester is we've got um, one, two, five different instructors doing the flipped model, and only 2 of us are doing the videos. So for some of the instructors, their students aren't watching their own instructors do the videos. So those students might feel a little disconnect there. Um,
So students that aren't yours watch your videos for a particular class, is that right?
right.
Okay,
hmm
that makes sense.
So there's 5 sections of college algebra being flipped this semester,
Ah.
and so I'm only teaching one of those sections, and so that can be kind of a big challenge.
Yeah.
I think one of the things with the other instructors is one of the instructors definitely likes teaching in like an inquiry based, let's
Mhm.
get into small groups, let's work together, let's try to figure these things out ourselves type of teaching. And she was never really comfortable as a lecturer. So she definitely, I think, likes this flipped model, even though the videos aren't her own videos.
Uh-huh.
Because, she can talk about with the students, what's working, what's not. I think with some of the other instructors not using their own videos, there's somewhat of a disconnect. Like, I don't even know if the instructors are watching the videos. It's more of like, they come to class, and it's kind of like, well, you can work on your homework in class kind of a thing. That's really all it is. It's not really an inquiry-based environment. It's just more of like they're coming to a tutoring lab almost.
Like kind of a study hall type atmosphere.
Right.
What, I guess, kept you going with this? So you've been invested in flipped learning for a while, and you're even doing your dissertation on it. How come you're so entrenched?
I think it's one of those things because the teacher-made videos of lectures, I think no matter what, the advantages are going to outweigh the disadvantages if done correctly, if a teacher uses it to their advantage. Now, I think if you just, have a canned, someone else made a video, and then your class becomes a study hall, it's not going to work. But if the teacher sort of uses it as leverage, because I think a lot of times, like when I taught high school mathematics, we used we used a curriculum that was very much the discovery-based, inquiry-based learning for math, which was great, and I liked teaching that way. I felt like I was like the dungeon master. They were on an adventure, like a math adventure or something. But the critics and the criticism was the students weren't learning the basic facts, the things they needed to know. So I think with the flipped, having these videos that they can view outside of class kind of buffers that criticism.
That makes sense.
It's like you can then have it as like, well, that's their homework, is to just kind of, absorb these definitions and like see some examples worked out. And then it allows the class to be more inquiry based.
So it almost bridges the gap between content and student-led inquiry.
I think so. Yeah, I think it really does. Yeah, and that's why I've really been a proponent of it.
How did you get started on the flipped network, the flipped learning network?
Well, that was just good dumb luck. It was I met with John Bergman, and I went and visited Aaron Sam's classroom. I think John was gone in Woodland Park because I forget even the reason why. I think it's because I wanted to start my dissertation stuff, and I wanted to see a flipped classroom in action because I had been to some of the workshops and conferences, but I wanted to see what actually goes on in the classroom. And then I said, he had said how he's been getting a lot of emails from people asking, just questions. And I said, well, how about I just start a network that people can join, and then when they come to the little the workshops, then they can join this network. And I figured it'd be a couple hundred people keeping the conversation, and then it just took off. And I think it was after when Sal Khan did his TED Talk, and he mentioned in his TED Talk, someone said, well, why do we need teachers now that you have all these videos? And he said, well, what I envision is that we'll be flipping the classroom. And he never gave credit to John or Aaron, but when he said flipping the classroom, that's when I noticed the membership just took off. So I think people started Googling flipping the classroom, and were coming across the site and stuff.
That makes sense.
So that's when it really took off.
I wanted to also get, what's your central dissertation question?
So the dissertation question is,